Are you tired of waiting Sunday till Friday for the LEC to start again? Is this what you look like at home, searching for some pro League of Legends and being forced to watch the LCS? Don't you also find yourself having trouble staying awake when the LCK goes for one of their typical control games? Are you as well too scared of international tournaments when you take a closer look at the gameplay of the LPL? Fear not, what you see right now is not how you need to spend your weeks, but don't just take our word for it, listen to what our very own as seen on the LEC spokesperson Guldborg has to say.
Hello, are you tired of waiting around when there's no LEC or LCS? Wait, we don't watch LCS. Alright, are you tired of waiting around when there's no LEC? Well, fear not, I have my respective ERL casters and colleagues ready to highlight their specific ERLs and give you a good reason to tune in towards playoffs next week. So, without further ado, I'll present to you the update. And hello, my name was of course Guldborg. Let's see if our production can get my name right for once, as I take you through the NLC.
Megana ready, you've got the setup ready, you have your wards down. If you trick, you have first in the river.
Yep, Blue jumps in, gets the Magnus Scorpion, he's untouched. That's the Wombo combo! They are just cut down by Tricked. 4 members fall, it's a triple kill for a Jew. Don't even care about Dragon, it's Baron time.
In the NLC, we started out with the winners bracket games, where BTXL took a convincing win against Barrage, and Fnatic followed the trend, taking down Tricked in a clean 2-0 fashion. The losers bracket followed the 2-0 trend, with Nordvin beating out Cobra and Singularity winning out against Granite Gaming. That took us to the next games, where the fight was a bit closer between our 4 teams in the lower bracket. Nordvin showed up on the day and knocked out Barrage in a clean 2-1 fashion, and despite Trick pulling their best Wombos combos off, they got absolutely stomped in Game 3 against Singularity, meaning Singularity took the series 2-1. Next week, we will have the matchup of the split that you can absolutely not miss. It's BTXL versus Fnatic Rising. We have not seen these two teams play against each other before, and winners are secured at least EUmasters play-ins and the finals in our NLC. In the losers bracket, we have Nordvin playing Singularity, and the winner will go on to face the loser between the academy teams. The competition is closing in on an end in the NLC. We have 4 teams left, and you can absolutely not miss a single beat of the action. So tune in 2 weeks, not next week, 2 weeks, corrected myself, where we will have the playoffs ending in the NLC.
You've now met the rest of the Baltic Masters on-air team over the past few weeks, and we finally circled back to myself. I am still Trajan, and lucky me, because playoffs went hard this week.
Once it is M2 with control of the river first. Faison wasting no time on the TP, Godix and he on the bottom side. The other 3 members of Pig on the top. They could look for a pincer here, but the Dragon is so low already, and Divider's already taken that one. Godix throws the ultimate out onto Pulsas. Basilisk goes deep in and completely evaporates. Arnax holding Faison on the side. M2, this is a lovely fight for them. They've got everybody split across the river, taking them apart piece by piece.
We saw 2 completely different series over the course of the semi-finals. On one hand, Goskilla locking in a 3-0 victory over the Iron Wolves, and they were the only team that gave them a real challenge throughout the season. But on the other, Methods of Madness and Pigsports staged a 5-game epic. Now, since Goskilla had already locked in 1 EUM spot due to finishing first in the regular split, this Pig and M2 series effectively decided the second. Both of these teams were ready to throw everything they had at each other for the chance. One of the biggest standouts through that match was M2M's AD carry Toaster. A recent addition to the roster with a less than stellar debut, we did have our doubts about how they would stack up against Clydex and Basilisk, who had previously only been punished by Goskilla. However, bringing out his signature Ezreal pick seemed to revitalize Toaster. This man was getting level 2 First Bloods, winning 1v2 duels, stealing dragons, and that's with Q, not with Ultimate, mind you. It was truly a sight to behold, and all capped off beautifully by a Game 5 Vayne lock-in, which, quite frankly, had me wondering why Toaster and Uzi have never been seen in the same room together. Not to detract from his support Pulsas and the rest of Methods of Madness having some of the best games of their season, and to Pigsports for making them work for it every step of the way. You have got to check this match out. It's far as the match of the week goes, there's only one left, the grand finals. And while before I might have expected Guskilla to stroll in and put up another quick clean 3-0 victory, now I ain't so sure. Their top laner Consequent has looked a little exploitable as of late, so it might be down to the bot duo of Bushy and Cospect to put M2M back in their place and remind them who the real stars are. Tuesday the 9th, 6 PM Central European time. Oh, and quick reminder, these teams were the first to qualify for EU Masters. First in, last out.
Hey beautiful people of EUniverse, my name is Morche and today we will check out what's going in the playoffs of Mastercard Hitpoint Masters.
Se divím, že ty Summonery opravdu nevykástil. Sleduje ale Saibon se pouští do Zeusáka, těch životů tady není dost, ale Dread je prostě na full a Dread to prostě řeže. Najednou je Legendary a Omon by chtěl ještě tradenout pár killů. Tohle je double kill pro Ioneho a sleduje Vaporeo. Ten teď chce najít Dreada, ale Dread je prostě nesmrtelný. Dobrá death sentence, by už ale mohla stačit. Dread nakonec umírá, triple kill, sebere Omon. Ten by z toho chtěl najít kvadru a uvidíme, jestli půjdeme i pro pentu. Charka nakonec ale zabije Omona. Ten se...
Since the last episode of EUniverse we didn't really have too much happening. We just started our playoffs and we only had our first match with Dark Tigers versus Eklot. It was quite a wild ride, so make sure to rewatch this series, especially the games 1 and 2, because it was back and forth. You were not really sure who's going to take it in the end, but eventually Dark Tigers overcame Eklot with a score 3-1. In our final standings of regular season, we had Inside Games first, eSuba second because they won their tiebreaker versus Sinners, which ended third, and Viking Creek fourth, and fifth and sixth, the last playoff places, were shared between Dark Tigers and Eklot. The current playoff format we have is from LEC 2020 and it's a modified double elimination tournament. The top 4 teams get seeded into the winners bracket, while the bottom 2 teams, 5th and 6th place, get seeded into the losers bracket. Winners bracket is played just like a regular knockout stage, where the losing teams fall into the losers bracket and they have one more chance to fight. Our 2 first matches in the winners bracket are already really exciting. The first match, Viking Creek versus Inside Games, is happening today, just as eSuba versus Sinners, the second best of 5. Even though that many would say that match of the week should be eSuba versus Sinners, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's gonna be a great duel, but we had a lot of eSuba versus Sinners already. The real match of the week you should watch out for is Viking Creek versus Inside Games. Inside Games looking really strong with the first place finish. Their Austrian jungler Putzok, while he gets played around his mid laner Deflock, Putzok is just looking really great, like the best jungler in our league. For Viking Creek, watch out for Welcome, because he really looks like the best top laner right now and he can really take over some games with his carry picks. That about wraps up our last week in Mastercard Hitpoint Masters. Cheers from Czechia and Slovakia, and we are excited to see you guys next week.
Hello everyone, Moonboy here to catch you up on what you missed in the first week of the PG Nationals playoffs.
Quello era un minio però. Tentativo di ingaggio. Ok. Sebex che cerca l'all-in proprio su quel Draven. Enz però riesce a sopravvivere in tempo. Continua a curarsi, ma non ce la fa. Non contro la furia di un Olaf, non contro la furia di Ragnarok. Yike almeno risponde a tono. Barriere esplosivo di Gragas per prendere più tempo possibile. Twist adesso che si gira, va a immobilizzare. Quadrupla uccisione. È una pentakill. È una pentakill. Pentakill!
Signori, se avessi dovuto pensare di commentare.
After all the chaos we've had in regular season, did you really think the upsets would stop just cause we moved on to best of 5s? Well, Samsung Morningstar said think again, as they took an unbelievable 3-1 victory over Machko, sending them into the lower bracket, off the back of a huge carry performance by Enz. This guy has won every single spring split the PG Nets ever had, and so far he's not showing signs of stopping. Meanwhile, in the lower bracket, GG and esports are looking like a strong contenders for a playoff run after clean sweeping Axolotl. Looking at next week though, let's see how the Morningstars will fare against Makers on Wednesday. Makers shows some sign of weakness in their 3-2 win against Cyberground, so if Samsung Morningstars can leverage that same advantage starting from the bot lane, they could be looking at the ticket for finals, and therefore EU Masters. That being said, we have 5 teams left in the playoff race, and you could make a convincing argument for each one of them to at least reach finals. As always, I have no idea what's gonna happen next, so if you like being surprised, come see us Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. The games start at 7 PM, I'll see you there.
Get them. I need a haircut. Whoa, hello owners of Universe. The playoffs is all about showing heart and play together. I'm the Rock7, I'm here to guide you through it.
Έχει δεχτεί αρκετό damage, μας κάνει αρκετό. Στο 1 HP αυτή τη στιγμή. Η Android θα το κάνει δικό της. Τώρα πάνω όμως ο Μπάκο μαζί με την ομάδα του. Θέλει να πάρει το παρά από τους πάντες Ένικον και πιάνει charm. Όλη την ομάδα της Android θα πάρει στα 3 άτομα και τον Dominant και τον GPT και τον Γουλού. Είναι αρκετά τάγκη όμως ο Dominant. Speed to win. Αυτός ο Γκάρεν παίρνει τον Baron, η ανόρθωση και ο Dominant για ακόμα μια φορά ζει.
The game of the playoffs was Team Fansma versus Anorthosis. We expected Team Fansma to fight back more, but they didn't. The Garage jungle continues to rise at Greek Legends League. Right now, by the way, it's 5 wins and 0 losses, so yeah, it's a real deal. On the other hand, we had Zerolac versus Refuse. Devil came into that best of 5 with superior performance, and Zerolac took down Refuse after 5 games. So let's go to the results. Anorthosis won 3-1 versus Team Fansma, the champions wants a repeat. And Zerolac won 3-2 versus Refuse. And that was a crazy best of 5. Moving into the semi-finals, okay, it's easy. GameSpace who achieved the first place, they had to choose between Anorthosis or Zerolac. They chose Zerolac, so that's the first pair. The other pair is WGame versus Anorthosis. My other name, by the way, is the Prophet 7, and I believe both series will go at 5 games. So, moving on to the Greek Legends semi-finals, this week you should keep an eye out for Anorthosis versus WGL Gaming. Both teams have established their place in our ERL, and this match will be a small taste of what's to come in the finals. We expected these two teams to be in the finals, but here they are facing each other at the semis. There's a talent, there's unique playstyle, and there's a passion to reach the top. Good teams make the playoffs. Hot teams win the playoffs. That's for me. See you next week, guys. Agorinas out.
So, do you guys know any good NLC talent that might want to do the update? Because, I mean, we called dibs, but Guldborg stonks are skyrocketing right now, so yeah. Anyways, let's talk Belgian League.
Pot geweest door die ward, dus KV Mechelen is op zich nog safe. Urban gaat proberen zoeken, forceert een flash op Domme Jules verder. Prachtige magnet stop. Hier komt de engage, Vanquish, S1 E6 en 4 mensen. Robba in de backline probeert daar meteen Flip uit de fight houden. Stel geldt voor Domme, double kill. Robba gaat gewoon hier de grote man uithangen. Robba gaat het hier doen als Urban uiteindelijk de kill nog finished. Fliff is heel erg low in de Darkens Blade. Robba doet het met de World en vindt er de double kill. En KV Mechelen vindt een clean ace.
Here in Belgium, we just finished up our double round robin. With all playoff teams already locked in, we started off with 7am finally finding their first win and avoiding that winless record going into the off-season. But we ended the evening with the most important match, the battle for first place, KVM versus Iron Squad. In this match, we saw KVM throwing down the gauntlet, almost taunting Iron Squad, going full comfort and leaning heavily into their creative draft structure. In a game of draft chicken, ending up in something we coined the KVM Grand Cru of drafts, our first place team showed us that going into playoffs, Iron Squad still has to successfully counter their playstyle. With the only place that was left up for grabs being first and KVM winning their match and completing that sweet 10-0 undefeated regular season run, we go into playoffs as we expected. 4 teams will battle it out to see who becomes the king of Belgium, and even better, who gets to claim that coveted EU Master spot. So let's take a look at how our teams can achieve that goal. Going into playoffs, every single match will be a best of 5. And we jump straight in this Monday with the Juggernaut match. The first and second seed KVM and Iron Squad battle each other yet again to see who advances straight into our finals 2 weeks later, the 22nd of March. The loser of the Juggernaut match drops down to round 2, where they will wait on the winner of our second match of next week, coming Thursday, Sector 1 versus 4 Elements. These two teams go into playoffs knowing that they only have one shot or one opportunity to seize the Belgian League in some sort of lower bracket miracle run. The only question is, will they capture it or let it slip? All I know for sure is that I will lose myself completely in the Belgian League playoff weeks, and that as long as Iron Squad steps up and 4 Elements and Sector 1 keep their upward trends alive, we'll be in for some amazingly tense but distinctly Belgian League of Legends. And that last thing is something we've been perfecting over the years and you'll find nowhere else. See you there.
Hello and welcome everybody to the Dutch League recap. My name is Jong and yes, my hair has finally been cut. I'm so excited, so let's just jump right into it.
Epcon komt ook kijken voor de contest. Als hier als eerste de MCOMers hier van de engage.
Daar gaat Lumiere en Draglick is de target. Kan niet eens op de stopwatch drukken. En dat is een belangrijke kill. Double kill inmiddels voor Barrage. Gaat kijken voor meer. Pina krijgt een prachtige taunt. Maar een triple kill voor Barrage. Gaat hij kijken meer. Dat is een quadra-kill. Pentakill voor Barrage.
En dat is de eerste pentakill die we dit seizoen zien.
We only had 3 matches last week and the place in the Juggernaut match was still on the line. The Juggernaut match essentially gives you a second life, so getting there gives you a big advantage over the other teams. The first and second place team of the regular split go to said match and gain a big advantage over the third and fourth seed, but more about that later. Our first match at MCon Esports Rotterdam take on PSV Esports. A spot in the Juggernaut match was on the line, so both teams wanted to win this game. With a substitute on the support role for MCon, the team looked different and not so willing to make plays. This resulted in a clean victory for PSV Esports and meant that they locked in a spot for the Juggernaut match, getting a top 2 seeding. This brings us to the final standings of this regular split. In first place we have Dynasty, who's been dominating the league for the whole split. Next up PSV Esports in second place. Third place goes to MCon Esports Rotterdam. And the last team to make it to playoffs in fourth spot is Team Echo Zulu. Fifth place goes to Lowland Lions and sixth place is for Team Trill. Now that we know our final standings, we can take a look at our playoffs format. Dynasty and PSV Esports will battle each other in our first best of 5 called the Juggernaut match. The winner of this match goes straight to the finals, while the loser gets another chance in the second round. On the other half of the bracket, we have MCon Esports Rotterdam take on Team Echo Zulu in yet another best of 5 to determine which team will face the loser of the Juggernaut match. Either Team Echo Zulu or MCon Esports will be the first one out of playoffs. The winner of the second round will face the winner of the Juggernaut match in the regional finals. Do not miss out on the action, as all data is shown right somewhere here. I'm sure Dida will do his best, so write it down. If you are not sure which playoff match you should watch, or you don't have the time to watch them all, then I recommend watching PSV versus Dynasty in our Juggernaut match. These two teams have shown great microplay moving around the map as a team. Dynasty dropped the ball mid-split, whereas PSV Esports kept on improving. This will be a true clash of titans and maybe a preview of the finals. That was me, thank you for having me everyone, stay safe and hopefully see you next time. Peace.
Hey, what's up ERL enjoyers? It's the Orange Man and it's time for Polish Ultraliga.
Uwaga Maguire, pojawił się smok, to może być trzeci smok dla pompy, dlatego wszyscy są tutaj zgrupowani i dlatego rozpoczyna się niezła jadka, wyłapany Raxo, ale zauważ te kołysankę w 4 osoby! Brunes jest absolutną bestią i Kick po prostu wykończy ten teamfight. Kackos wskakuje, przerzuca przeciwników, a Buki Style i Brunes zrobią całą robotę.
The regular season has ended, but it wouldn't be Ultraliga if some weird stuff didn't happen at the end of things. Comil and friends made some roster changes, fielding Comil himself. But unfortunately, weren't able to score a win in week 7. Next on the other list is Illuminar, who have lost to the bottom tier Gentleman's Gaming just to smash Aggro the following day. I have to admit, Illuminar came prepared, they had a great draft and ultimately they played some real good League of Legends, so if you wanna get some of the playoff hype going but for some reason you've missed the match, make sure to catch up and watch Illuminar vs Aggro from week 7. The standings are set in stone with no extreme upsets happening. Even though Team SK Gaming finally got themselves together in the end, their fate was up to Devil's One, who had to just win one match to secure playoffs, which they managed to do on day 1. Ironically, they lost to Team SK Gaming the following day, but the game didn't really matter in the context of the final results and the playoff spots. Talking of playoffs, the most important part is that Aggro has already secured an EU Masters spot and the winner of Pompa Team vs Illuminar will be the second Ultraliga representative. On the lower side of the playoff bracket we're gonna have Kick go against Devil's One, a roster that wasn't even considered a playoff contender by the vast majority of the community. Both best of 5 series look very close on paper as the teams in both matchups went 1-1 in the regular season. I'm sure that the games will be, Guldborg, get ready for this, absolute bangers, so just do yourself a favor and watch Ultraliga this week, both Tuesday and Wednesday at 7 PM. That's it from me this week. Go and listen to some of the other beautiful content creators presenting you updates from other leagues. Bye!
What's good, people? You know who it is. It's your boy Black Gator with the Primeleague updates.
Gewillt, den Dragon hier zu flippen. Big will ihn trotzdem starten. NJW ist im Busch, Vision, Chaos ist nicht da. Nur Defeat rein als erstes, aber Rika respawnt gleich. Defeat auch dazu. Also dann
TP ist da im Pit tatsächlich. Der Drache geht hier an Big, aber wie teuer wird er werden? NJW ist momentan alleine drin, währenddessen SLT mit einer starken Ultimate. Karim kommt da einfach raus, Double Kill für Rika und Big spielt das deutlich besser hier als Mausbot. Kriegt den Drachen und die Kills noch oben drauf und jetzt geht man auf die andere Seite. Gadget in der Ultimate, allerdings exhausted. Heal und ran geht's. Auch wieder Karim, Held der Stunde, Exhaust auf Rika gegen Pride Stalker. Der hat jetzt noch Ultimate, aber niemand ist low genug. Ja, er wird trotzdem gedrückt.
Er wird gedrückt für Damage, damit vielleicht...
Before going into this week, 4 teams had already secured playoffs. Mousesports, Berlin International Gaming, Gamer Legion, and SK Prime. With only 2 spots left, Schalke 04, Evolution, Unicorns of Love, Sexy Edition, EV Einfach and Penta 68 were still in race for playoffs. Favorites for these spots were Schalke 04 and Unicorns. Unicorns had only won 1 game out of 7 of their last games. Some people were mad. Going into the match of the week, the 2 top dogs of the league clashed against each other, Big and Mouse. After an invade and a couple of good plays, Mouse was leading the game. Big managed to show why they should be considered the best team in the league. They're not only good from playing ahead, they're also good at finding this pick through good map movement to get back into the game. After getting that lead, Big held onto it and closed the game out in a very convincing fashion. Due to playoff format, top tier teams from the league are already guaranteed a spot to compete in the EU Masters. Congrats to Mouse and Big, bring it home. In the upset of the week, Adhoc Gaming managed to steal a game from Gamer Legion in a way that made them look like a playoff team and not a team fighting for the bottom of the standings. With that said, the regular season is over. The 6 playoff teams are Mouse, Big, Gamer Legion, SK Prime, Unicorns of Love Sexy Edition, and Schalke 04 Evolution. Playoffs are played on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week. On Tuesday, we will see Gamer Legion vs Unicorns of Love at 18 CMT, following up with the clash between the 2 LEC Academy teams, SK Prime and Schalke 04 Evolution. On Wednesday, we see the winners of those 2 matches play against each other and Big vs Mouse. Make sure to tune in. That's it. Bye bye.
Hi there, Zerotic here for the freshest news of the LFL.
Bi-splitter. Avec bien sûr 1-0 pour l'équipe Tireur Roster dans la première Télécom Noire de l'année. J'ai hâte de vous plus. Oh la belle transi. Oh il téléporte le héros de la faille, c'est merveilleux. Oh là là, 4950 IQ. Oh non, il a fighté. Il sera puni pour ce fight.
On prendra tout de même la tour.
Lately, the number of blue mages at the mid lane started to rise, and Carmin's mid laner Saken still found a way to surprise us. During week 6, Carmin and BDS locked their playoff spot by securing another 2-0 week. In the battle for the last playoff spot, Mystery Premier took down Solari and absolutely demolished GameWard in the shortest game of the LFL to date. Gamers Origin finally ends their lose streak against a direct opponent, Solari, in a really long game that showcases once again their great teamfighting ability. It was a crucial win to keep their playoff dreams alive. With a quick look at the standings, you'll see that Easy Dream, LDLCOL and MCS are now out of playoff contention. But every team should be careful facing them, because as Varus says, beware a man with nothing to lose. For the middle of the pack, you can see here the chances of qualification going into the Super Week 8. Reminder that only the top 5 will qualify. Gamers Origin and Solari both need to make a perfect 3-0, while their opponents need to make mistakes, so everything is not in their red hands. Therefore, the most important match of the week will be Gamers Origin against GameWard. It will be on the first day of this Super Week, and if Gamers Origin takes the W, we can get a crazy ride to end this Spring Split. The action will start Tuesday at 6 PM, and next time, we'll talk about playoff. See you next week.
I'm Manifer, and I'm back with the LPLOL. Roll the clip!
Segundos do próximo dragão, que daria Soul Point aos offset, e eles estão a tentar o engage, atenção, muito CC, sai um enorme Emperor's Divide, e a equipa de Boa Vista corre pela sua vida, Galaxy ainda tenta o ultimate, mas não consegue matar ninguém, lá vai o time, consegue o primeiro, debaixo da torre, acaba por cair, Sacred impossivelmente está vivo, sobrados,
por 2.
Last week, it seems the White Dragons stopped being so unbeatable as everyone thought they would be, because they lost against EGN, having then their first loss of the season. So if you had to watch one game from last week, that would be it. EGN versus White Dragons, where they finally collapsed and exposed some of the weaknesses that were unknown to men previously. Apart from that, everything seems pretty normal. Offset are on the up and up again, since they just had a 2-0 week. Everything else seems pretty standard, but coming into last week, we have 4 teams tied in second place, while For the Win are close behind, only by 1 win. So all these 5 teams can probably make it to playoffs. There are only 3 spots left, but looking at the standings, we have White Dragons completely isolated. They have secured first place. E5 and Karma Clan are completely out of playoff contention, and then these 5 teams can still get a 5-way tie in some cases, so it's gonna be a very exciting last week to watch. If I had to pick one game, it would be EGN versus Offset, since they are very close in the standings, they are very close in power level, and it will definitely be a game that might decide one of these teams' fate for the playoffs. As for the LPLOL update, I have been Anifar, and thank you very much once again for watching the EUpdate. See you next week.
A lot of things to tell and just a little time to do it. Welcome everyone, this is Superliga.
La partida y Pink eso que no se lo quiere ceder a veces en el cuarto.
Davis que corre muchísimo, cuidado, aquí activa el Ragnarok, Widowmaker, el colapso que vuelve a aparecer, Falange Imperial, la teamfight, cuidado, Widowmaker se lleva Chile por delante, pero Java sigue pegando, cohete, nadie le llega a la Jinx, Bellalo, absolutamente nadie, siempre que puede morir, doble, triple, dame la cuadra, dame la penta, se lo quiere llevar todo, Java, la penta, dame la penta, dásela a Javier que se te escapa en togas, dénsela a este chaval, la penta, kill de Javier se lleva la penta, mirad a la Jinx que había empezado 0-3 Mellado, pero nadie le llega.
Yeah, it's hard not to bowl before a pentakill, even if Jinx had all the free space to hit everyone, but we had also this week.
No me lo puedo creer, el Camilis que le va a poner a salvo.
And Seraphine spamming E and healing 3000 HP as I am about to die deserves also a play of the week, or a fix, Riot Games, because what is this? Superliga's regular season is about to end, so the most important matches are those that decide teams in playoffs. This week, that match was the Mad Lions Madrid versus S2B, a game decided by a level 1 play. The Lions are on their own miracle run, and beating S2B was the first step to make it real. As you can see, standings are tight in the middle part, with 4 teams fighting for the second place, and in the lower part, where Mad Lions Madrid still have pretty realistic chances to reach playoffs, but the Wolves are smelling blood, waiting for the Lions and the Cheese to fall. The most important match for the next week, our last regular split week, is also our first match of the week, the Cream Real Betis versus Team Queso. Why? Because if Team Queso wins that match, playoffs will be beyond BCN Squad and S2B's reach. If Team Queso loses that match, the last playoff spot will be decided on Thursday in the Team Queso versus Mad Lions Madrid, with possible tiebreaker games involved. I will have coffee ready, because Thursday could be a long day. This week will be pretty exciting in Superliga, so please come with us and enjoy.
This time, I actually didn't give you a good outro, so f*** you, Dino, and I'll see you in 2 weeks, because, I mean, I don't know what to do next week. I have no one to see. I'll watch Ultraliga. Alright, I hope that was good enough. Wait. This time, I actually didn't give you a good outro.
That's poorly written. I have added...
Alright, I hope that was good enough.